The Carter residence stood high above Manhattan, a glass-walled penthouse glowing against the evening skyline. Inside, everything reflected wealth. Polished marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and staff moving quietly to maintain perfection. At the center of it all was Emily Carter, the soon-to-be bride of billionaire Daniel Brooks. Every detail of her life was curated, controlled and flawless at least on the surface. But lately something had begun to bother her. Sophia, the housemaid, had only been working there for a few months. She was quiet, respectful, and never overstepped her place. A single mother, she carried herself with quiet dignity, balancing long hours with caring for her young child. The other staff admired her work ethic. Even Daniel had noticed, thanking her personally more than once for her dedication. And that was enough to make Emily uncomfortable. It started small, a look, a passing comment, the way Daniel once smiled, while thanking Sophia for organizing an important event detail. To Emily, it felt like a threat. Irrational, perhaps, but powerful. She wasn't used to feeling second to anyone, especially not someone she considered beneath her status. That evening, Emily stood in her dressing room, staring at a velvet jewelry box in her hands. Inside lay a diamond necklace, rare, expensive, and impossible to ignore. Her reflection in the mirror showed hesitation for a moment, then resolve hardened her expression. "This will end it," she whispered to herself. Downstairs, Sophia was finishing her duties, carefully arranging fresh flowers. In the living room, her movements were calm and precise. Unaware of the storm quietly forming around her, she checked the time, thinking about her child waiting at home, and quickened her pace. Emily descended the staircase with calculated grace, scanning the room. Her eyes landed on Sophia's handbag resting near the service table. The opportunity was perfect. "Everyone, please gather for a moment," Emily called out suddenly, her voice sharp enough to draw attention. Staff members paused, exchanging confused glances as they slowly gathered in the living area. Sophia stepped forward, slightly nervous but composed. Emily moved closer, her expression shifting into one of concern. "I seem to have misplaced something very valuable," she announced, her tone controlled. "Battens, a diamond necklace." A murmur spread through the room. "I had it just moments ago," Emily continued, her eyes subtly drifting toward Sophia. "And now it's gone." Sophia blinked in confusion. "Ma'am, I haven't seen." "Let's not jump to conclusions," Emily interrupted, though her voice suggested otherwise. "But we need to be sure before anyone could react." Emily walked directly to Sophia's bag. The room held its breath. Sophia's heart began to race, her hands instinctively tightening. "Ma'am, please." "I didn't," she started, her voice trembling. Emily opened the bag, and there it was. The diamond necklace gleamed under the lights. Gasps filled the room. Sophia stepped back as if struck. "No. No, that's not possible. I didn't put that there." Her voice cracked, panic rising with every second. Someone must have, but her words were drowned out by doubt. The evidence was right there, undeniable to everyone watching. Emily slowly lifted the necklace, her face a mix of disappointment and controlled outrage. "I trusted you," she said coldly. Tears welled in Sophia's eyes as she shook her head desperately. "I swear I didn't do this, please." "You have to believe me." At that moment, Daniel Brooks entered the room. Drawn by the commotion, he looked from Emily to Sophia, then to the necklace in Emily's hand. His expression remained calm, but his eyes sharpened as he took in the scene. No one noticed the subtle shift in his gaze, the quiet calculation behind it. The room fell silent, waiting for his reaction. The silence in the penthouse grew heavy as all eyes turned to Daniel Brooks. He stepped forward slowly, his gaze moving from Emily's tense posture to Sophia's tear-filled eyes, then to the necklace still held between Emily's fingers. The tension in the room was suffocating, but Daniel's calm presence cut through it like a blade. "What's going on?" he asked, his voice steady, controlled. Emily was quick to respond. "I found my necklace in her bag," she said, gesturing sharply toward Sophia. "I trusted her, Daniel. And this is what she does." Sophia shook her head, her voice trembling. "Sir, I didn't take it. I swear I would never." Daniel raised a hand, gently stopping her. Not in dismissal, but in quiet reassurance. His eyes lingered on her face for a moment, as if measuring something deeper than words. "Security was called?" he asked. "Yes," Emily replied firmly. "They're on their way." Daniel nodded once, then reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. "Before anyone leaves," he said, "I'd like to see something." Emily frowned slightly. Daniel, the evidence is right there. What more is there to see? He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he walked to the large screen mounted on the living room wall and connected his phone. A few taps later, the screen flickered to life, displaying footage from the penthouse security cameras. The room shifted uneasily. Let's go back 10 minutes, Daniel said calmly. Emily's confidence faltered just for a fraction of a second, but she quickly composed herself. This is unnecessary, she insisted, though her voice lacked its earlier certainty. The footage rewound, then began to play. Everyone watched. The screen showed the living room empty at first. Then Sophia appeared quietly, arranging flowers just as she had earlier. She moved with focus, unaware of the camera capturing every moment. A few seconds later, Emily entered the frame. A ripple of confusion passed through the staff on screen. Emily glanced around cautiously. Then, with deliberate movement, she approached Sophia's unattended bag. Her hand opened it. The diamond necklace appeared in her fingers, and without hesitation, she slipped it inside. The video continued for a few seconds more before Daniel paused it. The room fell into absolute silence. All eyes turned to Emily. Her face had gone pale, the confidence gone, replaced by something raw shock, fear, and the realization that there was no escape from what had just been revealed. No, this isn't... She started, but the words collapsed under their own weight. Sophia stood, frozen tears still on her cheeks, but now mixed with disbelief. You did this," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Daniel turned slowly to Emily, his expression no longer calm. It was firm, disappointed, and unmistakably resolute. "You accused an innocent person," he said, each word measured. "You tried to destroy her reputation." For what Emily struggled to respond. Her composure completely shattered. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." "But you did it anyway," Daniel cut in, his voice sharper now. The sound of approaching footsteps signaled security arriving, but Daniel didn't look away from Emily. "You won't be calling any shots here anymore," he said quietly. "This ends now." He turned to Sophia, his tone softening. "I'm sorry," he said sincerely. "You didn't deserve any of this." Sophia nodded faintly, still overwhelmed, but a sense of relief finally breaking through the fear. Daniel faced the room once more. "Everyone is dismissed and someone make sure Sophia gets home safely." As the staff slowly began to move, the balance of power in the room had completely shifted. Truth had spoken, and it had changed everything.